My name is Jack, and for as long as I can remember, I've been the kind of man who believes in hard work. I was raised with the idea that if you work hard enough, you can build anything. You build your life, your happiness, your success. You build everything for the ones you love. That was my mantra. That was my guiding light at the time. I had a wife, Anna, who I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. I thought we had something solid, something real. The days were blurry, but they were full of meetings, deadlines, and deals. I was always working. Always grinding. The exhaustion was constant, but I kept telling myself it was for her, it was for us. I was building our future. But little did I know, my future was already slipping through my fingers. As a child, I was taught the value of hard work. It wasn't about wealth or luxury, but about creating stability, giving your family a safe home, a roof over their heads, and food on the table. The small moments, the simple acts of kindness, those were the things that I thought were important. I carried that mindset into my adult life, into my marriage. I believed that the more I worked, the more I provided, the more Anna would be happy, and the more secure we'd both feel. I was wrong. The truth is, I didn't see it at the time. I was so wrapped up in my own efforts that I missed the signs, the quiet cries for attention, for affection. I ignored the small things because I thought they didn't matter. I was doing all of this for us, after all. But I wasn't doing it with her. I wasn't doing it for the two of us. And therein lay the problem. The problem I failed to see until it was too late. I could see the changes, but I didn't want to acknowledge them. Anna and I had been married for 2 years, and those years felt like a blur. The early days of excitement and passion began to fade. At first, I thought it was just the routine setting in. After all, we were both busy. I was building a career, and she was taking care of things at home. But as time passed, the cracks started showing, even if I didn't want to face them. The first signs of change were subtle. She stopped smiling when I came home. Our conversations became shorter, more forced. We no longer stayed up late talking, sharing dreams, or making plans for the future. The touch, the intimacy, the small gestures of affection we once shared, they disappeared. I told myself it was just a phase, that she was stressed, that I was simply too caught up in my work to see the bigger picture. I kept rationalizing everything because I didn't want to face the fact that our marriage might be in trouble. And so I worked harder. I thought if I just put in more effort, if I just show her how much I care, everything will be fine. I thought that my actions would speak louder than my words. So the tension between Anna and I had reached a point where I could no longer ignore it. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know how to fix it. And then one night, I decided to do something about it. I thought a romantic dinner might help us reconnect, remind her of the early days of our relationship, when things were simple, when we were happy. I spent the whole afternoon preparing her favorite meal, chicken parmesan, with garlic mashed potatoes, just like I made on our first date. I set the table with candles, dimmed the lights, and picked a playlist of slow songs she used to love. I wanted to show her that I still cared, that I was still willing to fight for us. When Anna walked in, she looked surprised. Her eyes scanned the room, landing on the table. I thought I saw a flicker of something in her eyes. Maybe gratitude, maybe something more. She kissed my cheek, sat down, and we began eating. The conversation flowed easily at first. She complimented the food, joked about how I was secretly a better cook than she was. And for the first time in months, I saw her laugh genuinely. I thought, maybe we can find our way back. But then, the alcohol started to take over. She had 3 glasses of wine before things went downhill. Her mood shifted subtly, then rapidly. I didn't realize it at first, but when she set her glass down and looked at me, I felt something in the air shift. That's when she said it. "You're a nice guy. You make sure I'm okay. That's why I'm here with you." I froze. My heart raced. But I stayed calm. I couldn't let my emotions spill over. "What do you mean?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She laughed. But it was a laugh I didn't recognize. It was almost pitying. "I've never really been attracted to you," she said, her words like a knife slicing through the silence between us. She didn't stop there. She went on to explain how I wasn't her type, how I was too safe, too sweet. She wanted someone rough, someone who wasn't afraid to break the rules. The complete opposite of me. I wanted to say something, to shout, to demand an answer. But I didn't. I just listened as her words cut deeper than anything I had ever imagined. Bad Maddies. The words kept coming. She told me how she met someone who was everything I wasn't. And then she said it. The one thing I had never expected to hear. When I met him, I just couldn't resist. One thing led to another. I could feel the air leaving my lungs. Her admission wasn't an apology. It wasn't regret. It was justification. She was drunk. But it didn't matter. The truth was out. I didn't react. I didn't fight. I didn't cry. I sat there, my face a mask of calm, but inside I was crushed. She finished speaking, and I knew there was nothing left to say. I didn't need to confront her. I didn't need to argue. She had already shown me everything I needed to know. That night, as I lay beside her in bed, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel any of the emotions I thought I would. Instead, I felt a strange sense of clarity. She had made her choice, and I wasn't part of that choice anymore. In the silence of the dark, with the sound of her soft breathing next to me, I made my decision. Tomorrow, I would be gone. No explanations, no goodbyes. Just gone. By the time the sun rose, I was already out the door. No note, no nothing. Just gone. I called my lawyer to start the divorce process. I called my accountant to take care of everything, making sure my assets were protected. By the end of the day, I had full control, and I called my family. I didn't give them the details. They didn't need to know. I just told them to not entertain her, to not tell her anything. I wanted her to feel the weight of what she had done. The papers were served, and she tried to reach me. She begged for an explanation. She even showed up at my lawyer's office, but I didn't respond. After the divorce, she seemed to have everything she ever wanted. She was out every night, spending money, meeting new people, living the life she had dreamed of. But deep down, I knew what was coming. She couldn't keep up the facade forever. Soon, she was pregnant. The father of the child disappeared the moment he found out. She was left to deal with the consequences of her actions, alone. Years went by. I didn't think about her much anymore. My life had moved on. Not in a grand, dramatic way, but in a quiet, steady manner. I had peace again. Then one day, out of nowhere, she found me. She came to my door, looking the same, walking with that air of confidence that once attracted me. But all I felt was indifference. I didn't care about her apologies. I didn't care about her regret. You made your choice. I told her calmly, you weren't attracted to me. You found someone else. So go find him now. Her face fell. She tried to explain, but I didn't want to hear it. I wasn't the man she wanted. And now, I was no longer the man she could turn to. I closed the door and walked away. Sometimes, walking away is the hardest thing you'll ever do. But it's also the best. If someone shows you that they don't value you, don't fight for them. Don't beg them to change. Let them go. In walking away, I found peace, and that's something I'll never give up.